A viewer asks, will there be levels of rewards in heaven? And my answer to that is possibly. Let's look at 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 10, and read this verse. Apostle Paul writing, he writes, "For we must all appear before the judgment seat of Christ, so that each one may receive what is due for what he has done in the body, whether good or evil." Now, some person may be watching and say, well, okay, rewards of heaven, I've never heard about that. What's that all about? There is speculation about, and some people read into some verses that there are different levels of heaven. And on one sense, I can kind of see where they come from. There's maybe a little bit of a logical where it makes sense because, I'll give you a hypothetical. Let's say you have someone who's 99 years old, that lived their entire life not as a Christian, not a believer in any way, haven't lived it and haven't aspired to it. They get cancer, and about a month before they leave this world, they come to Christ and turn their life over to the Lord and are baptized and become a Christian, and they go to heaven. And then you have another 99-year-old that has had a very different life trajectory. They die as a missionary. They came to Christ as a teenager, began enthusiastically sharing the gospel and planting churches and bringing thousands upon thousands to the Lord. Both of them die about the same time and get to heaven. And they say, does it seem real fair that those two get the same reward? Both of them get the same mansion or whatever it is. Well, okay, maybe. 2 Corinthians 5:10 tells us clearly, the verse we just looked at, that each one may receive what is due for what is done in the body, whether good or evil. So there's a possibility that Christians at different levels of faithfulness, different levels of service, spend their eternity in different ways. The Bible really never comes out and says that directly. One verse that's used in this way of thinking is Revelation 22:12, which won't be on your screen, but you can look up, where Jesus says, "Behold, I am coming soon, bringing my recompense with me to repay each one for what he has done." I think most of this kind of gets in, I know most of it gets quickly into the field of speculation. We just aren't given the full details of what heaven is going to be like. Everyone faithful to Christ will go to heaven and experience the joy of God's presence, and maybe there is some logic to these ideas, but however it turns out, it's going to be perfect. Whatever heaven looks like, if it's the same for everybody, if there are different levels, whatever God decides about heaven will be absolutely right and absolutely perfect. So possibly, but we really just don't know. Hope that helps.
To have your questions answered or to learn more about the Bible, please visit us at knowyourbible.com.